here, how to deal with a really weedy plot of land. This is plot number 1, I believe, and it was left all last season, and you can see it now that it's just dead plant debris. There's even piles of it here. Our goal is going to be to cover it with cardboard, wet cardboard, or wet to be wet cardboard, and then we're going to put compost on it, and then we're going to let it rot for several weeks and see what happens. The idea here is weed suppression. Without having to till anything, we're going to be able to plant right into the compost that we've put on the cardboard. Okay, so Tyler and I spread out all of the debris that was left on this plot, and right now it doesn't look like you could do anything with it. But what we're going to do is, there's a billion weed seeds in here because all of these plants were left alone. They went to seed. They were just piled here, okay? So we broke up the piles and spread them around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to suppress those weeds by covering this entire area with cardboard. Then we'll put a layer of compost on it. The whole thing will rot down. You'll plant right through either direct seed or transplants into your compost layer. You'll never till or touch this. It'll be great for the soil. This will be one of the better plots in this garden as we go along. Okay, so the next step is we're going to spread cardboard. Okay, so we've covered the area with the cardboard that we had with us, and we were a little short, so we decided to make a pathway right down the middle with wheat block, and we stapled it in, and that will make it accessible from each side of the garden, kind of dividing it in two. It's important that you get every area covered up with some cardboard so that weeds can't poke through. The next step is that we're going to cover this with compost. Now, this is an extremely weedy plot, so this is a good no-till way of being able to do this. It doesn't necessarily have to be done every season. In fact, hopefully, if this goes through plan, they won't have to do it next season. If you have a weed-free plot already and don't have much problem with weeds, then you really don't have to go through the cardboard and compost. Just putting compost on your plot and planting right into compost is a good no-till soil, less soil damage than doing any type of tilling or digging. Okay, so the next step is we're going to spread compost on this. Okay, we've got about half this plot covered, and a couple of things that I forgot to mention earlier is that the cardboard must be wet. Now, most of this cardboard is wet, but we had to add some more pieces on, and since there's no water here right now, we did not wet them. However, we're supposed to get an inch of rain tomorrow, so I'm hoping that the rain will suffice, plus it's going to be here for a month before the season opens, so I'm hoping that the cardboard will be thoroughly wet. But the cardboard has to be wet for this to be effective. And also, you need to make sure you remove all the plastic, all the little wrapping tape that's around the edges of most cardboard. Okay, we're going to get started on the second half. So we've completely covered the cardboard with compost. We're done. It took us about an hour. We used about 40 cubic feet of compost. Now you get 16 cubic feet of compost with your registration fee. That would mean that you would have to spend $20 for compost if you wanted to do this. Now, not every plot needs that much compost. This was the weediest plot. You think yours is this weedy, or you end up with one this weedy, then this is a good way of keeping the soil in the best growing shape. Now when the person who has this plot is ready to plant, all they have to do is make their furrows, put the water lines in, plant their seeds, or if they have plants they're going to put in, space them out. You don't need to do anything to this soil. You don't need to dig it, you don't need to turn it, you don't need to rake it, you don't need to do anything. Cardboard underneath prevents the weeds that are deep down underneath from ever germinating, and this should be a weed-free plot. So that's how to keep the soil really healthy. A quick review. Your plot should be raked of any debris. You lay down the cardboard, wet it thoroughly, lay down the compost, cover all the cardboard, let it sit to break down